And our contractor just now said to me, you know, in response to what I was saying to her, you know, how I felt. And she looked right at me, she's like, God, someone must have done a number on you, not just someone contractor who's female, I told you, she owns the company, not just someone, numerous someones, mostly cruel men, but then we have to add my aunt into the mix as a non-male, you know? And then when I told her what had happened, obviously just the bare bones of it, what Donald did to me, and shoved me back, was leaving me for possible dead or dying, the bottom of that, blah, 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 you know, old news, you guys know. A lot of you know, I don't know. I have so many new subscribers, they probably don't know anything. Anyway, she says, well, I hope he's locked up. No, he's not locked up, and he never was. Because the two male witnesses I woke up to in a daze, wondering why I had woken up at all, and long time after that, wishing I hadn't. We saw the whole thing. Let us call the police. I'm bruised up, bloody, had just woken up from being blacked out from the bruise this big on the back of my head. No, I don't want to ruin his life. Oh, it's so sad. It is so fucking sad, and I am hardly alone. Understand? When you are abused long term, particularly, and it has time to build up, you are fucking conditioned. You do not matter. I am living proof of that. He had just left me for possible dead or dying. It could have been bleeding to death. It could have been dying down there. And my 8-year love had just taken off without a care, not giving a fuck. And I wake up to two male strangers and they want to call the police, and the idea horrifies me. No, I don't want to ruin his life. He left me for dead like a piece of garbage. In his eyes, he had no idea. He knew that I was not moving down, if he even bothered to look. Maybe he didn't. But he knew I'd gone flying backwards down that hill, and he didn't care. He just took off. You know, there are people who make mistakes and in a fit of rage, but then they're absolutely mortified with what they've done, you know. He took off. The way I just behaved with this contractor and wouldn't talk to her, let her explain for days. I was too livid, raged, upset, and in my mind there was no possible explanation. I still don't know for sure, but I tend to believe she's probably telling the truth. She didn't think it was a big deal. Her guy, her employee, came to put the grubber up and then remembered, like, well, I'm not sure where we should put it. Maybe we should talk to them first and have them be here so they know, so we know exactly where to put it. So it's not in the wrong spot and there's holes in the tub. And then apparently she said, well, you know, they talked about it, well, we should put something up, you know, just so they'll have something before we come back and do the one. But to me, it's like, you told me you bought one. I come back here. My mom felt the same way, and she agreed with me. The contractor, I'm like, think of it from my perspective. Wouldn't you have thought the same thing? And she was like, yeah, but you know me, and you know how nice I am. And I looked right at her. I'm like, think about if I was in an abusive relationship. You know, you can have a mate that is wonderful in the beginning, but it doesn't change the fact when they start pounding on you, you know, or something, or started. In my case, it wasn't physical abuse. It wasn't physical. It was my dad in high school author. You know, and I said to her, you know, there's some people. It was emotional, psychological, but there, you know, as it happens a lot, as I read. A lot of times, long-time emotional, psychological abuse at the hands of an abuser escalates and culminates into physical abuse, as was clearly the case with me, okay? It took 8 years for me to nearly die at his hands, okay? And even then, but I had his mom drilling it into me as well, you know. It was an accident, you were both drinking, these things happen. It only took my case manager at the Registered Domestic Violence Shelter years later in 2012 to say, to make me understand the moment someone puts their hands on you, it doesn't matter if it's intentional. And in this contractor, I said, you know, I had to learn that later on, be reconditioned, because the moment you can shove somebody away from, the moment you put your hands on somebody, if they get hurt, you are responsible whether or not you intended for them to get hurt. I didn't know that. And I went, there are people who can die from being shoved just away from somebody, and they don't have to go backwards down a hill and smash their head on the pavement below and black out and wake up to 2 strangers, and with the unbearable knowledge that their long-time live-in boyfriend, who they thought, even if things were going bad, at least cared about them somewhat, had just taken off and left them there like garbage to possibly be dying alone. Someone must have really done a number on you. Jeez. You think the worst of everybody. I do. Every time I trust anyone, I get burned. What does it say about me that I actually was willing to put everything behind us and try to forge somewhat of a relationship with my aunt after everything that had happened? I'm a naive, goddamn fucking fool, that's why. But what just happened with this contractor is just yet another form of solid proof of what I already sadly know. I can't be with anybody. I can fuck someone, I can hang out casually, I can whatever, but I can't be with anybody, okay? I am too fucked up. Too fucked up. Alright? It didn't even allow her to explain. I refused all texts, all voicemails for 2 fucking days. Because in my mind, there was no explanation. Okay? That's thinking the worst of somebody. And she doesn't understand, because she's like, I've been nice to you from the start, I know. But so can that can happen with an abuser. They're nice to you at the beginning, and then they you know. I told her, I was honest with her. She's like, I can take this down off the wall if you... She knows she did wrong, not intentionally, not maliciously, and not communicating. In my eyes, I come home and there's something up on the wall and nothing in the shower. What am I going to think? But you didn't give me a chance to explain. Haven't you ever been so angry in your life that you didn't want to hear it? You didn't want to hear any explanation. I was too upset. I just couldn't believe that there wasn't a grab bar up after everything I had said. There wasn't one in our shower, but there wasn't one on our wall. Alright? According to her, it was because they realized after the fact that they need our input on where to put it, and they just wanted something there in case we wanted to take a shower. I told them, you just shouldn't have done it at all. You shouldn't even have put it on the wall. I'd rather have 2 in the shower than 1 on the wall. But then she's like, well, I can take it down if you want. And I said, no, I was going to force you to take it down out of spite because I don't want to look at it because I'm angry. But now that I know that you didn't do this on purpose. I don't think she did do it on purpose. Her explanation does make sense. But again, she understands where I was coming from. We talked. You mentioned nothing. You didn't get back to me. And she's like, oh, I didn't want to bother you. You should have bothered me. I needed you to bother me. I needed to come home and understand and tell my mom, okay, they put one up on the wall just so we'd have something just in case we want to take a shower. Why would I think they do that? Just an extra thing, you know? Just so we'd have something. it makes perfect sense now, but in my mind, I was just too mad to let her explain. It's not like she wasn't going to eventually get to explain. I got more madder, talking to the field adjuster who was coming to her defense and saying she didn't do it maliciously, blah, 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 whatever. Then she's telling me about extra stuff that they did, but I don't know. How am I supposed to know about extra stuff that they did but didn't have to do? Okay, I don't. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know what she thinks of me, but she seemed to understand. And the field adjuster did say, you know, she's all upset. She wants to make things right. She wants to explain. On her end, if she really is on the up and up, and I think she probably is, then she must have felt really bad that I'm thinking all this. She told me, and but I didn't want to talk to her on the phone. I don't like talking, you know. I wanted to see her in person and talk to her. And she got it. You know, she got it. You told me you bought one. I mean, but in her eyes, why would I ever think she would do something like that? She's like, come on, Laura. Why would you think that I went through all this trouble, this, that, whatever, and make you this beautiful in the bathroom, but I'm not going to put the thing up on your shot? I don't know. All I know is you didn't do it, and you said you bought one. And she's like, well, we have a lot of those. We didn't have to buy them. And I looked online. It said it's difficult to put them up and that type of thing. And maybe you didn't feel like it or want. She's like, no. Her explanation makes sense. Remember, I haven't read any of her texts or voicemails. Listen to any voicemails or whatnot. Oh, and I found out about the rug thing. Apparently, and it's got to be because it's not my whole room, but maybe because it's near a bathroom, and bathrooms things can happen with water or whatever, I don't know, but there was apparently like vinyl, there was something underneath that rug that separated the rug, the padding, from where it was all wet. So she understood where I was coming from there too. But the field adjuster was wrong when she said, oh, you can replace part of the rug. And I said to this woman, I'm like, God, I would have been better off if there was no vinyl tile there, whatever. You would have had to replace my entire rug. Just because that one part was damaged. But apparently it was dry as anything. It hadn't been damaged because it was protected by tile. Which, who knew until you rip it up. So there's an explanation for that. And again, the other little things I talked about, like the throwing stuff in that garbage thing over there and some gross thing I found in there, or not picking up the white paneling outside the house, things like that. Had none of this grab bar thing, I wouldn't have cared about the other stuff. You understand? That's little stuff. That's little stuff. And she did fix that door. I didn't know she'd done that where Omer had ruined it. I didn't even know. And because of all this shit that happened, she's going to put a border around our mirror, a nice border, make it nice. She's going to do that for free, so that's nice of her. She understands now that I'm talking to her where I was coming from. She knows her, but she says, but you know me? No, I don't. I don't know you. I don't know you. I liked you and trusted you, didn't read any reviews, didn't do anything. I come home and there's a grab bar on my wall. And none in the bathroom, none in the shower, like you repeatedly promised me. What am I going to think? I said to her, what would you have thought if you were me? And she's like, I would have thought the same thing. So she understood. And I go to her, this is a lesson for you too, isn't it? She's like, yep, you got to communicate with your client, your customer from the start to finish. You can't assume that they're not going to think the worst and be all upset, you know. My mom thought the same thing. She even said, are they going to fix it? I'm like, I don't know if they can fix it, Mom. I don't know if you can. From my perspective, I don't do this for a living. I don't know if you can even put them up in that type of thing. I don't even know. You know what I mean? I don't even know. But I'm not going to make her take it down, because it is extra protection or whatnot. And I'm not mad at her anymore. I was going to make her take it. I told her, I was honest. I'm like, I was going to make you take that down and repaint the wall and whatever, just out of spite, because you put it up and I thought you did it on purpose to try to get away with not putting it in our tub. She can't believe I thought that bad of her. So she said, someone must have done a real number on you. You don't trust anybody. No, I don't. You're right. More than one somebody has done a number on me, okay? And on the opposite end of the spectrum, but actually it's along the same lines, but in a different way. You know, as a woman, single, in this day and age where people will kill you just if you look at them wrong. I mean, 13-year-old Jamie Claus is just getting on the bus and targeted by somebody whose parents can't even believe it. The father is filled with shame. Like, his son blew the parents away in front of her, and we got more details. The mother was hugging Jamie. The father was blown away through the door. The mother was hugging Jamie in the bathroom, and the mother was blown away. I mean, I know it's graphic, but you know that the mother's brains and guts and blood would have gone all over Jamie if the mother was blown away while holding Jamie, you know? It's awful. That's the life we live in now. Okay? It is happening more and more than ever before. Human life means nothing to more people than maybe you can imagine. And then I have Foot Guy saying what he said to me after we'd spent a nice non-sexual intercourse, but still, you know, hours and hours in his bedroom together. And he had to, in the end, had to say to me, you know, I could kill you right now. I could kill you right now. Put your body in my freezer. And this was after he brought out a Ouija board at the beginning of our 5 hours long day together. And you know what I mean? Trying to scare me, trying to whatever. And now he still emails me, you know, still tries to convince me he's a nice guy and he wanted to see me again. No. You may very well be a so-called nice guy, but nice guys, especially in this day and age where women have such reason to fear men, okay? You know, talk about murdering someone and putting their body, that's not a joke. Okay? I have every reason in the world to not trust anybody ever, be they male or female, okay? Unless you earn my trust, like Joe has earned my trust over a period of years and years and years and years, okay? I don't know a contractor I just met for the first time in my life 3 weeks ago. You know, you've got a real good job without me even meeting the guys who did it or without me doing review, nothing. I just liked you. I liked you. Okay? And I didn't know it was your company, and I took you at your word that you were going to be the one working on my house. I thought, for all I know, I don't know anything. It could be some huge company, and just because she calls these her men doesn't mean, I mean, she could be appointed the head of these men. In a big company, there's probably people who are at the head, and there's all different groups that go out. It's just like on Big Bang Theory, Bernadette wanted to appoint Penny the head of the sales team, you know? It's just like in Joe's line of work that is computer related, you know, you can have groups of people. So I didn't know. I took her at her word. I said, you're going to be doing the work? She said, yeah, me and probably one other guy. And in the end, she didn't. She's the head honcho, so she supervised. She wasn't here all the time. And she agreed with me too that it's bullshit. I said, how can this be lifetime guarantee? And she knows. She's like, they all want to say that it's lifetime. How is it a lifetime guarantee? What, that it won't chip? It arrived with a chip. I don't believe your guys did. I think it was like that. Just like when I buy jeans, they can have a little, or clothes can have a little imperfection. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to be perfect, but to say it comes with a lifetime guarantee, that's a lie. That's a joke. And the shower door enclosure did come separately, so I wish she had gotten one that had it on both sides. If it came separately, why couldn't we have used the ones we already had? It's another question, you know? Why couldn't we have used the ones we already had? I don't like that my old ones went both ways, had handles on both sides, not just one, and it just is a natural inclination to close. You know what I mean? To close the door. I don't know, and she agreed with me too. She's like, yeah, it's kind of messed up, but